is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here. They will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive.
They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Lawrence. And the way he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. They'll run with Mitchell. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
The Cardinals offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. A run out of the gun with Brooks. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Now the numbers for Brooks a week ago. 17 carries, 54 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st
1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
On play action. Now McCarthy.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
And he will find his man on the outside.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Now McCarthy. He'll try and do this himself.
And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
A gain of 9 yards. 1st down, Ravens.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Baltimore.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
The first-round pick looking comfortable in this offense. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is...
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Throwing is McCarthy. They'll run the screen with Mitchell.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Here's McCarthy.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season, and in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing, but clearly there's some growing still to do.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the 1st down in the process.
It's a pickup of 6.
1st and 10 at the 40.
A nice run there. He calls his own number, gets the 1st down, and then slides to a stop before he has to take any contact.
And that absolutely has to please this coaching staff because you know they've been drilling into his head. You're no good to us on the sidelines if you're not playing. Right? If you have to do every...
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
And Lawrence will throw.
Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Now Lawrence to throw.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now. And this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in
take over. Looking to put a drive together. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
On the coverage there, DJ Turner broke that one up. 2nd and 10. You look at this Arizona defense.
Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
1st down, here's Mitchell.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over...
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. On play action, McCarthy.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
A gain of 7 brings up 2nd.
They hand off and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the offense will hold on to this one right at the 5-yard line. Lucky there.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. To the air with McCarthy.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Walter Nolan
With a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Oh, what a move.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go.
Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete.
2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd.
They run out of the gun with blitz here.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, In addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
That's to the left sideline and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Up the middle with Brooks here.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offense.
Pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 5 yards to go.
They run over center with Mitchell. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 52 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
At the 47-yard line.
On 1st down, they go back to Mitchell.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
The Ravens at 4-11 on the year. And they come in the midst of a season-crushing losing streak. It's up to 9 games now.
And this is a team that's not shown much consistency during this losing streak because they've never really looked like they've been ready to play. You question their motivation. You wonder what's going on with them. And I'll have a PhD in psychology, but the body language, it's awful.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. That one into the hands of Flowers.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They're in a 13-3 hole here now as they come up on 1st down.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
It's 3rd and
Now Lawrence.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set.
Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Lawrence. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Mike Green, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves, well,
under pressure, and they got to him again. They push him back 8 yards and time on 2nd down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
87 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Right where they set him down started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half.
And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
Throwing right, and that's complete. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Going right side here, and that's complete.
Now 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 40.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
It escapes the sack. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10.
At the 22-yard line.
On the handoff, Mitchell. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
Fair catch.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half.
And
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Looking to put a drive together.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell.
A nice little juke. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
136 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
And he whips that one incomplete there.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Locates Mooney on the out route.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now.
So the lead extended. I think at this point you say, hey, defense, take us to the end.
Well, if I got some good music to put to that, I could have a good country hit. I like the way you express yourself there. I think the offense has done enough so far. But like you say, if your defense is only giving up 3 points, makes it a lot easier to settle for field goals on this side of the ball.
The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
From the 29, Lawrence. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been the halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice
chase a game back sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
He finds his man, complete. It's Romero. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Ravens.
And now here's a carry heading left.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. This is 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, he'll try to run with this.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 30. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
22 yards. First down, Baltimore.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Complete to Mooney on the slant.
Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And they'll get him down right around the 16.
Marte might be the one to bring him down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
It's 3rd down.
Back to throw.
McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Zay Flowers.
His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, as one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, when you mention that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
They'll run straight ahead with Brooks. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That's another Cardinals first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it?
has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Handoff. This is Brooks.
And he stopped immediately there. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Lawrence. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th.
Give running right is Mitchell.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now McCarthy. He'll try to pick it up himself.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Ravens.
Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
No gain on the play. Brings up second.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? Well, let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Well, ultimately not really really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
They'll run the draw with Brooks.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
On the play. It's 3rd down and 6.
They
Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
26-yard line.
Here's a give up the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line.
It's 4th down.
And his kick is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Oh, look at the juke.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he's got this down to the 35.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
They go play action now. Lawrence. That's down the field. He's got a roll.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
Here's Brooks.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
4-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Lawrence now off the bootleg.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. Get there, but we got to go for it, because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Play action. Now McCarthy.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
To the air with McCarthy.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Lawrence will throw.
That is caught. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Again, it's Lawrence.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense.